Hey Scrappers, Tom from iScrap, and we want to talk about what you should expect the first time you go to a scrapyard. Now, the first thing that I always suggest doing is going online, and before you even show up, before you get directions, you find the scrapyard through the iScrap app. Maybe they have some reported prices, maybe some other people have put prices on there, but you want to check them out. Google their name. I mean, one of the things that we take great pride in at Rockaway Recycling is having such high reviews. And when you start to deal with new companies, if their star ratings are like 2.5 or 2 out of 5, well, you might want to shy away from them. If there's not a lot of options in the area, you might want to read some of the reviews, see what people say. Right off the bat, that's going to give you a really good idea on how you should be feeling when you show up. Next thing, well, you got to package your scrap, and of course by using different videos and things that we've done before, gives you a better idea on how to sort and separate material. This way when you show up, you actually know what you're talking about. You are able to know what the materials are, you're able to know what everything looks like, and this is going to be a better lane for you to show up and really be organized. So the scrapyard, they can go at your pace because you have everything organized. Next, you might want to call and make sure they're open. I know it sounds funny, but some scrapyards do not update their hours online. So another important thing, if you have a scale at home, weigh some of your material up. Loose steel might not be something that you can weigh easily, but copper, wire, things in buckets. If you have a scale and just some point of references, write down some notes and make sure you bring those notes with you, either put them in your smartphone or something like that, just so you know what's going on. It's going to make it a little better for you. So when you show up, you can start to compare weights. Once you get to the yard, you might want to park, ask them where to go, ask them what's required. Almost every state that I know of in the country makes you have a US ID, so make sure you have your ID with you, otherwise you can't get paid. From there, you're able to start selling your scrap. Ask them about prices, ask them how their scale works, where the material goes. At Rockaway Recycling, we have a lot of great directional signs. The signs allow people to know where to unload, what to unload where, what doors to pull up to, where they get paid. That first opinion of the scrapyard, that first trip is so important because it's going to set all of the different standards going forward, so you know how to deal with them and they know how to deal with you as you go further and further. From there, if you have questions as you're unloading your material, ask. If they're not answering them, they might not be the right scrapyard for you. At my yard, we always answer questions, show people how to make more money, go over different sorting processes, and we make sure that they can see the scales nice and clear, and that's another thing that you want to make sure you do. See the scale certificates. This way you know that whatever state or country, if it's Canada, whatever province that you're in, that the scales were certified. Then you want to make sure that you can see the scales with your material on it. And then from there, the process is relatively simple. They should print out a digital receipt, printed receipt. You should be able to go over everything. We always suggest going over your receipts before cashing out. This way, if there's a problem, you can go over it before you've already gotten your money or got a check written to you. It just makes the process a little easier. For instance, today we had a customer we bought batteries from. We had quoted him 2 cents over board price. He forgot to give us a printed out email. We printed out a check. We ended up having to reissue the check because he didn't bring those prices with him originally. Not a big deal, but it would have saved a piece of paper, saved a little time. And these are things that you might want to do before you cash out, because once you get your money, it's not always the easiest thing to go back and kind of renegotiate or have things get fixed. This will give you a basic idea on how the scrapyards work. This should give you a really good idea on what you should expect when you show up. And then from there, you're going to be able to learn a little more as you go, ask more questions. If a scrapyard gets bothered by your questions, again, use the iScrap app to find different scrapyards. Scrapyards should want their customers to be smarter, to be more transparent with them, and these should be some of your own goals. Love to hear about your first experience at the scrapyard. Let us know. Until next time, scrap you later.
Thanks for checking out our scrap videos. By becoming a Patreon supporter today, you'll be entered into monthly giveaways for tools and other products to help you make more money with your scrap.